I've always been aware of the fact that what I was feeling is shame.
Hey guys, today we're talking about Mia Khalifa's recent interview with Stephen Bartlett, where Mia made claims that she was pressured to get into the adult industry by her ex-husband to fulfill his own fetish.
It was an extremely unhealthy relationship, and I even feel weird calling it a relationship because the dynamic was not one of a relationship. It was more one of someone who saw a toy to play with.
While she only spent a few months in the adult industry, the 30-year-old quickly became one of the biggest performers around. But she says now, looking back, that it was one of the biggest mistakes she's ever made due to her insecurities at the time.
Yeah, I think insecurity leads you to do things for validation that you otherwise wouldn't if you were secure in yourself, or if you respected yourself, or if you loved yourself.
Mia also added that she now prefers to use her birth name, Sarah Jo Shamount.
I'm Sarah. Sarah fucking Joe.
During her interview, Mia said she was in an extremely abusive relationship with someone who was grooming her.
And being able to call it what it was is grooming. It was...
Reflecting on the relationship, Mia said she was suffering from such low self-esteem that she ended up marrying this person 4 days after turning 18.
I got talked into eloping to Las Vegas 4 days after my 18th birthday.
And she claimed that it was her partner, who was in the U.S. Army at the time, who pressured her into getting into the adult industry.
They were in the Army, so it had nothing to do with the porn industry, but it also had everything to do with it.
Mia was only 20 when she was handed a card from an adult industry casting executive, which she later showed to her husband.
I was given a business card and told to think about it. I went home, I laughed it off, and the consensus was, you should do it. I think it would be great.
If you're not much familiar with Mia's life, here are some quick facts about her. Number 1, she was born in Beirut, Lebanon, and moved with her family to the United States in 2000. She, along with her family, moved to the US in 2000 when she was just 7 years old. Number 2, Mia is a people pleaser. Like many of us, Mia believes herself to be a people pleaser and says she tries too hard to make people happy.
I have not been thinking for myself, and I have been making decisions with other people's best interest in mind, not my own. I've been trying to please people who aren't worthy of that instead of taking care of myself. And
Number 3, Malala and Mia are friends. Malala, the youngest woman to win a Nobel Peace Prize, and Mia are friendly acquaintances. They became friendly after Mia commented on her TikTok and Malala replied back.
Malala, who is the youngest woman to just win a Nobel Peace Prize, you tweet at her?
no, I commented on her TikTok.
For Mia was a cam girl for a while. Mia has dabbled being a camera girl for a little over a year before she switched to other jobs. She says she was probably the worst camera girl ever, as she didn't even show up on the screen and would just leave it on while doing her house chores.
I had a very different experience with camming.
Okay.
I was probably the worst cam girl in history.
Mia, I love the authenticity.
I would leave the
your
camera
honesty.
on in my empty room and hear like the tips go off, knowing that they're trying to get my attention to come back in, but I'd be watching Netflix in the living room.
5. Mia has struggled with self-esteem issues all her life. From being an overweight Arab kid in America around 9/11 and more such things, caused her to have body image issues and eating disorders.
Not eating, just being completely unhealthy, abusing laxatives, just doing all of these things to put my body through the ringer and lose this weight so drastically.
6. Mia is a big advocate for therapy. Mia has been in therapy for years now, and she believes in therapy like nothing else. She adds that her journey wasn't easy, and she had to switch a lot of therapists to find her match. She also says that she wouldn't be around someone who isn't in therapy.
Therapy! I love therapy.
Ask if she's
No,
in
we need
therapy.
to normalize asking people, yo, are you in therapy? 'Cause
Right.
I don't want you in my life unless you're in therapy. Like,
That-
are you actively working on yourself?
That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to MJPOP and don't miss out on our amazing content.